something a little different. People seem to like my photo editing and whisper rambling video, so I thought I'd make another one, but take a different approach. So I'm using my little camera and I'm screen recording my screen so you can actually see what I'm doing. So today I'm working on a wedding that I shot over the weekend. This young man was a guitar player in a band I was in what feels like another lifetime ago, and his lovely bride. So let's look at some photos. Now, let me, if you're new to photo editing, if you're not familiar with Adobe Lightroom, let me run you through some basics. So here's obviously the photo. Here is kind of a preview window, which I guess I don't even know why that's there, because everything you do over here affects the main photo. These are where your presets are kept. Some of them I made, some of them I bought. I have no shame saying that. And this is kind of where you make all your adjustments. So these are the big global, if you're familiar with like Instagram filter editing, you know, it's very similar. But then there's a lot more. You know, you have a tone curve that you can affect. We can do HSL, which is hue, saturation, and luminance, to really change specific colors. You can do split toning, which is hard to explain, but basically you can kind of tint the highlights and the shadows. So a really popular one is doing like a orange and teal sort of look, which would look something like that and like that. That looks awful in this photo, but it's more popular. It's a cinema thing. So we got some sharpening down here, lens corrections we can apply. We can change a lot with, which you would never do something like that. That's more for fixing distortion from like wide angle lenses. And then, you know, cropping. So there's that. Down here, this is our film strip, or whatever you want to call it, just where all our photos hang out. Up here, histogram is a type of chart. Hopefully you don't hear that guy with the massive subwoofers, and if you do, I'm super sorry about it. These people in this apartment complex are super rude. It's 10:30, like, calm down, no one wants to hear your music. Anyway, sorry. So all your photos, you know, this is the whole day. Presets. Then we have some other fine tools up here. You know, adjustment brushes. You know, we can have a circle tool, which, you know, adds some masks, cropping, spot removal, simple stuff like that. So when I'm editing photos, Lightroom is probably like 95% of the work. I don't usually take things into Photoshop unless they're really important or really need a little bit of heavy lifting. Photoshop still does a lot of things that Lightroom doesn't. I think it's better at like removing things. Spot removal is more for like blemishes, whereas you would take it to Photoshop to like dig a tree out or something if you wanted to do that. Anyway, so I was shooting this wedding. The first image, the main image here, so they got married at the parents' house, which is on like this farmland out in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, and they had some Halloween decorations up, so of course I'm going to use them. And so we have our skulls. Let's look. Here's color flagging, which is how I save images. These are the images I've kind of done so far. I haven't done many, but we'll look at those. So, you know, nice. She's hugging her friend who dropped her off. Friend Brandon getting ready. Grandpa's watch. This is a important pen. Someone gave it to him, I don't recall. Mom's putting the dress on. Another mom shot. These ones don't match. That I used a flash here, which is why it kind of filled in, and you can kind of see there's beige on the wall, so it bounced off the beige and gave kind of a nice warm highlight. Whereas this is just the window light with no flash, so we can kind of correct that real quick. Just change the white balance to daylight. First kiss, which I'm not super wild about because the focus isn't super sharp, but that'll happen. So here's spot removal, real quick, easy. Get rid of that big blemish that he has on his, I'm not sure what that came from, but it happens. It's good enough. First kiss, like, here's another one right after the ceremony. Not a bad one. We already pulled the blemish out, but we can pick some of these off real quick that I didn't do. Boom. Right after the ceremony. Here's another one that's slightly out of focus. It's hard to tell on the screen, but if you zoom in, if they printed this huge, it might be a little apparent, but if it's 8 by 10 or less, it's sharp enough. Here's a nice little photo of the two of them in the after the ceremony. We got a nice couple images of them. Click. I don't even know who these people were, but they were admiring the lake. Everybody had masks on, except for the couple, during the ceremony. The rest of the time wearing masks, except for, nice little wedding photos. This, hands, good detail shots, on the farm, walk in. So, that's what I've done so far. There's only 16 images, but there is 10,080 to go through still. So, that all said, I'm gonna start working through them. You can kind of watch me edit, I guess. I don't know if that's interesting to you, or if that's super boring. But we're gonna go through, and the cupcakes were there. They had unicorn cupcakes, they were kind of neat. Bring that back up. Their faces, she looks like she's having a rough time. Most of the prep, the bride getting her hair done, is usually not very interesting. There's like a handful of shots ever that are good. But you still show up. It's nice. You can build some rapport. You build the trust. You kind of get to know the bride real well. Because I don't think I might have met her once before this. So actually that didn't actually look that bad. So get that. And so if you notice, my presets all have names. I usually name my preset based off the song I'm listening to. So my current set of presets was they're named after a band called Between the Buried and Me. They're kind of a progressive death metal band, so if you don't like that, don't look into them. But they have an album called Colors. It's one of my favorite albums. And so the songs are either song titles or lyrics from that. And then my other one that I'm not using as much is from an album called Ordinary Corrupt Human Love, which is from a band called Death Heaven, which is also another progressive death metal band. I don't only listen to death metal, but it seems like that's been my kick the last couple months. So anyway, and then One Day the Dark Horse Will Come is a reference to a Converge song, which Converge plays extreme noise metal. So a lot of death and a lot of metal in my pictures of love. So, but there's skulls. So whatever. Anyway, just kind of mowing through these. This is all photo editing really is. This is most of it. You just kind of look, make a couple corrections from your mistakes. Correct the white balance, which is the big thing. The preset does a lot of the work. You make some things black and white. And you just kind of run through. Some things are dramatic. I like to skip around a lot when I'm editing because I get the biggest thing that I don't want to do is, and then what always ends up happening is I don't like doing the formal shots. I feel like the formal shots have more importance to them, but like the family shots even too, because they're never that interesting. Like, this isn't that good of a photo. It was so windy that day. This has turned out better than I thought it would, because it was so windy, I couldn't put up anything front of my light to soften the light. So the light's all hard, which is not good light for anybody. If you're not familiar. Oh, they had a unicorn cake too. That's out of focus. Wonderful. There we go. That's a little better focus. I don't love that framing, but the cake was messed up down on the bottom. You can see it right down there. So I guess I was framing that out. But yeah, it was so windy I couldn't put up anything to soften the light, make nicer light. So those aren't going to be that great of photos, but that's okay. Cake beard. That's not a great photo either. This kind of what hard light looks like. This is what softer light looks like. Camera stuff, you don't care, you know. Here you can really see how the cake got kind of junked up in travel. It got a little smushed. Cloudy. Oh, that looks awful too. This is a problem. Let's do black and white. Yeah, and that way we can smooth out her arms a little bit. You don't want the bride to look bad, don't have bad skin. Pull the skin brush up. There it is. Normally I use it's a pen tablet. It's called a Wacom. Or Wacom. Wacom. I don't know how to pronounce it. W-A-C-C-O-M. Yeah, I think that's right. But right now I just have the mouse because I don't want to cause a bunch of shuffling to get this. I'll probably just skip through some of these. Yeah, they're about to cut the cake. So that's nice. Oh, here's, hopping in, going back up to the house to get, this shot. Then we got these nice window lit. You can see me in the background. Nice little close up of the boutonniere and the beard. Just brighten that guy up. Looks pretty good. It's a classy shot, window light. This is what soft light looks like, and window light. If you ever need to take a photo, just stick yourself by a window that doesn't have direct facing light, like where the sun's. So like if the window is here, you want the sun to be on this side of the house or up above it, just as long as it's not shining directly in, you'll get an awesome photo every time. It's easy mode for photography. So that looks awesome though. Barely had to do anything. I put him in the chair just to see what that would look like. I kind of like it. Although I hate this crank, which is such a weird... As photographers, we get fixated on things. And the thing I fixate on right now is this crank. And for some reason, I'm like, this crank is not cinematic. Or I don't know what you... It's the dumbest thing to be mad about. But, yeah, we took them in here. I don't like... She's so bright and he's so dark. I should have moved him up. But if you reset it, this is what it looks like in the camera when it comes out of the camera. So I could probably pull it back. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. It's just real flat, which is fine. He's out of focus. Whatever, everybody's looking at the bride anyway, right? I'll mess with that later. Here's another duplicate of that shot I showed you earlier. You always looking for those candid moments. People having a good time. There's dad. Not wearing masks, but what are you gonna do? Everyone's outside, doing their best. Nice little gifts. Groomsman gift. Jason, best man. This one that's brother, which I thought was funny. She was really excited about something. I don't know what. I think they gave her a gift or they told her something, but it's just like the most excited face I have ever seen a bride make ever. So that was cute. Cute little moment. Let's see what else. What do we got here? He made gifts for his groomsmen. That's something called a divider, which I had never heard this term before. Comment down below if you know what a divider is. Apparently it's if you don't want to measure with numbers, you take this thing and you spread it out and it's this many. And then you take it and you move it over and then you make the cuts. So it's like a woodworking tool. So I don't have any sort of handyman skills, but this guy was really impressed with it. And the groom made it. And the groom also made, let's see if I have a shot of it, for his something with the management of the store that his family owns. So, yeah, cute picture, people hugging. It's a good one. Sneak hugs. Love me some sneak hugs. The borrowed jewelry. It's nice. Very nice. What else we got? What else can I show you from this wedding that was nice? Here's some photos. They're gonna start getting, that's a dumb photo. I was like, okay, you look out and you look at him. And I think it looks dumb. I don't know. You tell me if it looks good. People always tell me my photos look good. I'm always like, you liar. I'm very hard on myself. I'm probably my hardest critic. So I guess it's not that bad. I can live with it. I wish it was better. I like these better. Stuff like this. This is more a cup of tea. You can see I had to push the exposure 3.5 stops, which means it was underexposed when I shot it. But it came back, so we don't care. We're happy. We pulled it out in post, which is why you shoot RAW, which if you're not familiar, cameras can shoot, it's called RAW, or they can shoot JPEG, which is what your phone would shoot is JPEG, but RAW captures more of the sensor data and gives you more room to play, to push colors and stuff like that. And so Adobe Lightroom is really good at taking those and letting you mess with them, because otherwise, this is what the photo looked like when I shot it, so kind of messed up. Although I guess it would have looked like this in the camera. So I probably snap, and I'm like, that was good, and then did not check the back, which I do a lot, and then I was just like, F later, which happens more often than you would like. Or the alternative that happens is I have my brightness on my camera monitor turned way up, and so everything looks fine, and then I get it back, and I'm like, oh, should have checked the histogram, and then this is the histogram. So to kind of show you, a histogram is like a representation of luminance in the image. So it's like left to right, bright to dark. So you can see there's a lot of blue right here. That's her probably, and then kind of red, and you can kind of see how it goes. Is that right? No, that's a waveform. I'm thinking of a waveform. A histogram is just is dark on this side, light on this side. Yeah, that's what a histogram is. Okay, so that explains explaining. A waveform is a video version of this, and it's more like a weird kind of spectrum, and it's it kind of looks like the Matrix. And if you don't know what you're looking at, it can be like, what is that? A histogram is similar, but it's just the values on the dark to light scale. So it's not a representation of the image. So I lied to you, and I'm sorry. But that's what a waveform is. This is a pretty good one. It's pretty cute. So we're gonna save it. Any ones I save, I mark as yellow. That's my go. And if I don't like it, I mark it red. These are just numbered. That's what I picked one day. Because good is 7, which is up top. Red is on the right. And you only have 4 colors you can pick from on the keypad. And then 1 through 4 give it a star rating. So sometimes I use the stars. Sometimes I don't. So there's this kid. He was cute. Giving out candy and popcorn. Real nice kid. I don't like that one. They were gonna get married in front of this tree, but then it got ripped out. And I hate this picture because the lighting was not great. Because it was at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's just before when you would want it. And it was not cloudy. Nebraska's kind of been having the wildfire smoke is starting to come, and so it's just kind of hazy. And this one's funny. I was just look at each other's eyes and try to touch eyeballs, and it was funny, but it didn't. It doesn't make a good picture. Anyway, so the light is kind of garbage. This out of focus. I didn't like this one. I wanted to do something with this tree, but but it has to be pretty dark to get a good flash photo. Because then you can really add some contrast and some hazy and get real impressive stuff that it looks more like this, which is the kind of stuff I like. I like the dramatic. I like the drama, you know. But you can't always get what you want. So let's see what else. Giving a hug to Dad way down the aisle. These are slightly out of focus too. That's what happens with wedding photos. If you look closely at a lot of wedding photos, they're not that sharp because everything is moving so fast, and you can't be like, can you go do that again? You just don't get. You gotta roll with the punches and hope for the best. Like that's like it looks fine here, but you zoom in any photo, they're usually not as sharp as you think they are, and that's a pet peeve of mine. So, what are you gonna do? Can't have everything when you're moving and running and jumping and sprinting over logs and stuff. Anyway, that's way out of focus. Sometimes that'll happen. Trying to get the ring exchange. There we go. Rings, hands, details. That always sells. Sells. I don't know why I say sells. I don't sell images. I sell my time to be there for the day. I think a lot of wedding photographers do sell. They sell their time. You have to pay them to be there, and then you have to buy the prints from them, which I think is insane. Which I know there's some wedding photographers end up charging over 10 grand for photos, and I'm just like, that's nuts to me. I don't know. And I know they say, oh well, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to think you are not your client, so you shouldn't be able to afford yourself. Is the advice they give you for pricing. But I think that I want to be a good human, and I want to charge people a fair price for a fair product. And so I don't do that. I just charge for the day. I'm just like, this is what it costs for me to be there. And if it's a big wedding, then I charge them a little more so that I can have an assistant. Which this one was a very small wedding, so I didn't charge him for the assistant. Anyway, he was doing something cute, and then he stopped being cute when I put the camera on him. Again, a cute one. He stopped being cute, so his camera came out. Anger. Oh man. But yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy. From this 1,000, I guess it's 1109 is how many photos I took. I'll probably end up giving them 400 images, maybe. I didn't shoot a ton. This was 1,000's really not that many for me to shoot at a wedding. If I'm shooting a real big wedding, and especially if I have assistants, then I could easily be topping out 4,000 or 5,000 images. And then in that case, I'd probably deliver over 1,000, but this, relatively small wedding, and I could have took more images, but just there's only so much happening, and it was nice. I saw so the officiant was actually the singer in me and Brennan's band, so it was nice to catch up with her. I hadn't seen her in a year, so it was kind of nice. Gotta talk about things, talk about all my difficult times, all my sad times. If you've been watching, talk a little bit about going through a breakup and all the bummers that come with that. So it's nice to see her friends. She has a nice boyfriend. His name's Eric. That's really all I know about him. He plays bass. He plays bass too. I play bass. So he's better at bass than I am because I never practice. I just wanted to look cool and do sweet jump kicks. I was really good at jump kicks. We were a pop punk band. That's what you do. So yeah. Anyway, so this video got way longer. I was like, I'll just edit photos for 10 minutes and talk. This is an inside joke in the band. Anyway, I was like, I'll just talk for 10 minutes while I wander around editing, and we are at 25 minutes. So talked for way too long. So anyway, I gotta get better at bullet. Comment down below if you use the company, and I don't mind talking to myself, talking to a camera. I'm getting pretty good at it, I think. Especially compared, if you go back to like the first, it's called a Tingle vlog, the first one I did, I think I was way more awkward, and now since I've had a couple channels where I talk to the camera, and I've gotten pretty good at it, I think. I feel like maybe a little. I've gotten a lot better at least, if not good at it. I've light years ahead of where I was, so. Anyway, drop a comment down below. Should I keep making these videos? Is this interesting to you? If not, that's fine. Do you like the weird noises, the ASMR no talking videos? Because I like making those. They're very zen-like for me. They're very meditative, so I love making those videos. But you do, I would say, you run out of ideas, but sorry, that was a little loud. Anyway, I have so many ideas for those, so I'm gonna keep making those, and I'm gonna keep making these because people seem to like them. So this got Minnesota goodbye again. I apologize. Anyway, thank you for watching. If this is your first time, please subscribe. Put out new videos whenever I feel like it. I don't have a schedule because I just try to make them as much as I can, and sometimes I go in manic sprees if I do every day for a month and then I don't upload for like 3 months. But I'm trying to be better about not doing that anymore. I'm trying to be more consistent. So thank you as always for watching this far. Don't be ramble and edit photos.